like to know if Sebastian has missed him. Krill would like to know if Sebastian has missed him. F the goat,
F you, Sebastian.
F the goat,
Drake, you can keep him.
F the goat,
F you, Sebastian.
F the goat. Ever since we first met him back in Amphil, he's been right by Krill's side most every day. Zephyrus told us he was special too. We didn't know why, but believed it was true. And now that we've returned from our travels, Sebastian and Krill's friendship has now surely unraveled. Krill would like to know if Sebastian has missed him. Krill would like to know if Sebastian has missed him. F the goat,
F you, Sebastian.
F the goat,
Drake, you can keep him.
F the goat,
F you, Sebastian.
F the goat. Reunited with our friend Harshnag, we hunt the peak. The pendant we had made will show the way to what we seek. The size of it caused some dismay. It's what you do with it anyway. The adventure continues.
This is intended for you to use by looking at the horizon and spinning the pendant until you find a shape which fits with the peaks. And that will show us the way to travel.
Oh, and I should stand on this smooth stone to do so.
That is correct, yes.
I think I should do that.
Please do. That is the whole reason we are here.
Right, Quinch does that.
Okay. So you do that. And at first, nothing happens, or you stepping onto it, you just feel smooth rock underneath your feet. And you, as I say, you look around, and even before you do anything, you can see like where you're stood. You've been traveling over fairly flat lands to get to this point, but pretty much your entire horizon is made up of mountains almost everywhere, every direction. Some are closer, some you can see far off into the distance. Some look huge, some look small and easily traversable. But it's very fair to say there are lots and lots of mountains all around you. With the pendant, as I say, you've got lines all over. And what do you do with what is Quinch going to do with this item?
So I hold up the pendant between my face and the horizon, so lining it up to look at line up the jagged peaks on the pendant with the mountainscape, the horizon, and spins it, and then just rotating the body, looking for a line up of peak silhouette.
As you do this, as you flick the thing to start spinning it, almost the second you start feeling from the feet up, you start feeling this like very light, like arcane energy not fill you by any means, but you sort of like moving through you, and you can sort of just feel. It's really just difficult to describe. It's not like you feel calm or anything like that, but you just feel, like I say, this natural energy just moving up through you. And as it gets to the pendant itself, you can see it's not quite a glow, but you can just see that you can sense the pendant much more, even though it's a dusky light and it's not the easiest to see anyway. It just your focus on it just changes, and it's almost like it's all you can see. It's almost like you're holding it up to your eye like a spyglass. It's the most you're most focused on, and you're moving it around and you can't see it. And Harshnag sort of like as you do that, he sort of like he does this to you. And you sort of realise that you can turn it, that like you can use this pendant all around. Like you can move it 90, 180, all the way around 270 degrees and look at it in various different angles.
Harshnag, I feel like I've been training towards this task, manipulating an object within my hands, almost like a puzzle. I feel like I'm adept at this.
Perhaps this is true. I do not know your full path, but it is possible that you were meant to be here, Quinch. Perhaps it is an omen.
Wow. Because Yes. Once upon a time, I may have gone by that name, but no more. I'm looking for a new name. Anyway,
I thought you said you were called the Humbled. You're looking for a new name already.
yeah. Well, I want to.
That was like 5 days ago.
I go for a lot of names. It's a thing
Why
of
don't we
mine.
call you Quench the Wayfinder?
That would work for now. If I was an action figure, that'd be a great limited edition. But I think I'm looking for something more permanent.
Are you saying this still looking through the eyeglass bottle?
Yeah. We're still looking. We're manipulating.
Okay, so you're doing all this. And eventually, off to the northwest, you can see just the lightest of like blue, faint glow on the pendant itself. And you can see the outline of a mountain range, which lines up perfectly with this range off to your northwest, to your northeast. And Harshnag just claps a big old hand on your shoulder. Quench, it looks like you have manipulated the pendant very well. Your hands have done a good job. That is the way that we must go.
Thank you. I see it now. I see it so clearly.
You have finded the way, Wayfinder.
And he says, and he looks out in the sun, perhaps it is too late for us to travel. This is a good place for us to rest tonight.
I'm good to go, to be honest.
I punch Krill in the arm.
Okay. Okay, so you settle down for the night?
Harshnag, how do we survive in these cruel temperatures?
We must huddle for warmth. I'll go in the middle.
If you think these are the cruel temperatures, then I have news for you, my friend. It will only get worse. It will get colder. This is nothing. This is child's play. Harshnag is Frostad. He does not feel the cold. But for one such as you, I suspect you are going to be in some trouble. I suspect there will be some dice rolls to determine whether or not you perhaps have some encumbrance.
Could we alleviate dice rolls by simply all cuddling up together?
I do not think this will be good enough, no.
Dabov's just going to light a fire and gather around that instead.
Yeah, I think like
I don't know.
a very good idea.
Would Dabov's fire resistance also make him resistant to the positive effects of a fire? I think it should.
hell.
I think it should. No.
Dabov's just going to stand in the middle of the fire. It'll be fine. That's going to be warm. It's going to be warm enough to not die.
Let's just set fire to Daboff.
Yeah.
I'm going to run around just to like keep the warmth away from you all. Just yelling like, can't catch me. As I'm just setting fire to everything I touch.
I can't imagine there's much flammable stuff around here.
I mean, you all look pretty flammable.
Yeah. Do you know?
Chucks a load of grease on everyone.
We don't just to
It's like a flamethrower.
we don't actually have any kind of tent, do we?
That seems like an oversight.
Oh, do you remember when we made the stupid mistake to go, we probably only need bedrolls because we're hard, and then we didn't actually bother getting a tent or anything? That was clever.
Let's use like some of Harshnag's underpants or something.
Is it? Yeah. Fuck Sebastian. He can get out of his knapsack. I'll hide in his backpack.
Right, so let's use bits of whatever we've got to try and let's make a bit of a shelter
Let's sort out the money side of it off camera. But you would have, I think, before you headed north, you would have.
Yeah, we'd have got a tent.
Yeah,
you would have bought something to
Yeah.
Dabov, in a space-saving effort, has literally just bought a tarp. So he's going to just put the immovable rod above himself, click it, drape the tarp over, and that's my tent.
Okay, enjoy your tarp. We'll be inside a proper tent. Like,
What is a tent if not just a tarp over a stick?
yeah, but in this condition, I think there's varying degrees of tent.
Yeah, ours is better.
And there's varying degrees of tarp.
I don't know if you remember, you actually created a hammock in the sky at one point.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm going to do that instead. I'm going to make a fire, and then I'm going to put the hammock directly above it.
There's a hot air balloon. He fucks off.
Yeah, you're resistant. You can't be damaged by flame, but your hammock can.
I'll put it high enough that it doesn't burn. I'm not stupid.
Yeah,
Fire
find a
is
hammock
surely
that was
colder.
cursed.
I'm not going to climb into it as it's burning away and go, yeah, this is fine.
What Greg's going to do is he's going to use his shape water ability to draw the water out of the snow and shape an igloo. And then when the water freezes, it just turns into an igloo. I mean, it doesn't even have to be an igloo. I could just shape a castle out of it. We could make an ice castle or something if you want.
Okay, so you set up camp.
Yeah.
Harshnag just freeballs it. He doesn't need it. He's basically impervious to the cold. He doesn't even need a thing. So he just
Free balls it.
freeballs it. I don't know. What's the word? Free wheels it. Free floats it. Free
Willy.
Yeah.
Free Willy's it.
He free willies it. He does. His big old frost
That's kind of
giant
implied by the
just-
free balls, to be fair. If the balls are free, the willy's going to be.
He could
Sorry,
just
what
sort
is
of-
this? What's
Go
he
on.
doing?
He's just not sleeping in a tent or anything.
Oh,
He's
fine.
fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
He can deal with the cold.
Yeah, I don't think that's got a name.
We could sort of use him as a sort of lean-to, sort of just hold this and just sort of pin a bit of the tent to his back. No? Carry on.
Pin it.
Can you all roll me perception, please?
Yeah,
for
mate.
your night of rest.
I would love
Here
to.
we go.
Perception.
Perception.
Ooh, 18 for the dweez.
12.
18 for the dweez. 12. What did you get, Devil? 7.
He's fast asleep.
16.
16. And
7
Gregor.
from Gregor.
So, Dweezil won that one, so to speak.
Yep.
Um,
That's right, Greg.
What's with the hating on Greg this episode? Come on.
That's right. If that hurt you, you can just heal yourself now. You're the better healer.
I mean, that's true.
Is there a spell cure feelings?
Cure
No, but there's
emotional
one
wounds.
called Fireball, which works equally as well.
Dweezil.
Nathan.
You are somewhat on edge, because I think this is the first time you've slept out in the rough since you were getting those weird visions, those weird moments of insanity or whatever, which now makes sense, but at the time didn't. But even so, you've been through quite a few weird events over the last few days, and so there's a little bit of tenseness to Dweezil, and perhaps you don't get as good a rest up to this point as you'd like, but certainly good enough. And so you're on edge while you're on watch. It's made even worse by the fact that this is a completely unknown environment for you, and seems almost more quiet than any other night that you've spent out on the road. You're keenly aware that normally when you're traveling, there's forests and things nearby, but this just seems like there's almost nothing around. It's just ground and mountains, and just this entire silence is just off-putting to you, and you're just looking around, almost inviting something to happen, because it just feels too quiet. Then you hear little crunchy noises.
Sound like the croutons again.
You spin around, like looking to see if you can see where it came from, but whilst it seemed close, you can't see anything. There's nothing untoward. You just can't. You don't know where it came from, and you think maybe it's your mind playing tricks on you. We get through to the morning, and you all get a long rest.
Woo.
What I'm going to do very quickly now is, now that you have your long rest, is just talk to you about the items that you got in Lord Loraga's house. Okay, so there were a couple of potions on Chadlade. I don't know who took those. I don't remember who took those.
It wouldn't have been Dweezil, because
I think
Yeah.
I might have ended up with some of those.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
Well, if we
I've
find out
got-
what they are, we can give them to the relevant
Okay,
person.
you can work it out.
Yeah.
So it was just more for a case of who was looking at it. But yeah, you look through them, and between you realise that these are 2 potions of invulnerability.
oh, sexy.
Potions of invulnerability,
So-
for those that don't know what they are, basically give you resistance
Yeah.
to pretty much everything, I think.
No point. No point the barbs having them.
I was going to keep them both. No.
Just slug them back for sort of a refreshing
Nighttime
Barocca-style drink.
nighttime beverage, yeah.
Okay. Who took the slippers from Anastasia?
I took them.
Anastasia!
I took them and gave them to Greg.
Greg.
Yeah.
Possibly not the best person to have them, but he can give them away if he wants to. You have slippers of spider climbing.
I did think they might have been.
These allow you to climb walls at walking speed. They do require attunement.
Before I even put those into my inventory, I will offer them up to someone if someone else wants them.
I think they're probably more Dabov-esque.
Okay.
I think I would place them with Dabov for his.
What do you need to climb anyway?
No, but you could climb on the
It can be
inside
like
of a cave.
climbing
You could climb a
ceilings or
cave
anything.
ceiling and shit.
I
and-
suppose. I mean, if no one else wants them, I'll happily take them.
Imagine he's a really cool item, and he's like, fuck it. If nobody else wants it,
Well, I haven't had
I
to climb at
suppose.
all yet, so
You've not had the
but-
option.
but that's
to.
because you've not had the option to.
I suppose.
Yeah, if I could scale fucking anything, I'd have been climbing
Imagine
non-stop.
Imagine the 7 years we spent fighting those zombie children. If you'd been able to just walk on the ceiling and bypass them all.
I mean, I just
Shoot them from the ceiling.
And
We'd have
left
probably
you guys
still,
to fight them.
We'd have probably still killed them.
Yeah.
We're currently in a
I'll take
mountain
them.
range
I'll
as well.
happily- I'll take them and equip them.
So
I mean, it's either that or I'm going to sell them. So
they might become quite useful.
yeah, no, it's fine. You can have them.
Cool. Thank you.
They're official items, but you'll need to attune to them, which again will take another short rest.
Cool.
Okay, so next one we've got. Let's deal with the big one. Krill, you been looking over your glaive. Looking over it, it's unlike other glaives you've seen before. It looks particularly nasty and angry. Weirdly made out of rather than metal. This seems to be made out of some sort of stone. Really like sharply
Sharpened.
Sharply sharpened. And yeah, it just looks completely different. It is a +1 glaive. But on top of that, the reason that makes this a Giant Slayer glaive is that any hits you make on giants or giant subtypes, so that would be things like Ettins and I think trolls maybe come under giants, deals an extra 2d6 damage.
Wow.
And also, they have to make a strength saving throw of DC 15 or full prime. Otherwise, it's just a +1 glaive. Against any other creature, it's a +1 glaive. Okay? And then the final item that we'll discuss here is a tiny little drum. A tiny little drum that Mr. Dweezil has. If I get the official thing up. It's called the Drum of Force.
Ooh.
You start the day with 5 charges. Okay?
Yep.
It's an action to beat the drum. When you beat it, you can either beat it once, twice, or thrice, spending as suitable amount of charges. So obviously, three beats would be 3 charges. If you were to beat it once, it creates a force field around you. And the 5 feet around you. Sorry, the 5 foot square that you're in, essentially.
Nice.
Increasing your AC by 3 until the beginning of your next turn.
Nice.
Anyone who passes through your space, which would include friendlies, must make a strength saving throw. On a failure, they take 2d6 force damage and are pushed back 5 foot in the direction they came. On a success, they just take half that damage and are not pushed back. 2 beats, 2 charges, essentially the same, but it pushes the force field out to 15 feet and reduces your AC only by 2. So you have a further essentially you have a further range to sort of hit someone, so to speak. But obviously the payoff is that you have a lower AC.
Yeah, but stuff has to get through it to get to me.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it
and-
reduces, mate. So it still increases it by 2.
Yeah. But sorry.
Yeah.
So one charge is one charge. 1 beat is a big bit of AC that probably won't do much else because it's unlikely anyone's going to move through your space.
Yeah.
But then you could have a slightly lower but higher comparative AC, but it has a larger space. And 3 charges essentially the same, but it pushes it out to 25 foot cube, and an AC addition of 1.
Lovely. And how long does the force of the drum last? Is it just until my next turn?
Just the next turn, and you can do it so you don't have to repeat. So you could theoretically you could have 1 round where you do it once, for example, and you've got 4 beats, 4 charges to do the rest of the day.
Is this an official magical item, Nathan?
It's not. No, I'll say that for you.
Awesome.
Movement through the force field is also difficult terrain, and it doesn't move with you. So it would literally just create that wall of force there and then where you are. So you'd probably want to do it maybe the end of your turn or the end of your movement. It recovers 1d4 plus 1 charges each morning. So realistically, most mornings you're probably going to get all your charges back unless you completely evaporate it.
And is the beating of the drum an action? Is it a bonus action?
It's an action. It's an action.
Cool.
So yeah, it's the payoff. You don't necessarily get an attack, but also if you're under heavy fire, if you decide that you want to up, bearing in mind your AC is now 17, I think.
Yeah.
You could push your AC to 20 if you're in a sticky pickle.
That's nice. Yeah, lovely. Booyah.
Lovely stuff. Okay, so you get through the night with your long rest. You
Am I allowed to read a little bit of my Arcana Blaster book?
Yeah, okay.
I'll do that.
Okay. Excellent. I can't remember the particulars of the Arcana Blaster book, but was there something mechanic about it? Did we have a thing for it?
I don't know. I just have written down in brackets read each night.
I remember you found it.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what it was. We'll make something up by then.
Yeah.
We'll do our next session, or I'll go back and listen in case it was something. So I apologise for that.
No, I apologise. I should have written down more specifics.
You wake up the next morning, and you start packing up, start putting together your gear. Harshnag sort of it's early morning. The sun is beaming bright in this northern wasteland, and as you're putting together your stuff, Krill, you're just putting together all your stuff, and you think something's not quite right. You start looking at all your things, and you pick up your money purse, and you're like, that doesn't feel like it did yesterday.
Heavier, lighter?
Lighter.
Oh, fuck. That's
You
worse.
look inside, and you start looking through, and you reckon about 300 gold pieces has gone missing.
This is a bit awkward because
Have you got nothing?
I had 32 gold pieces.
All right, and in which case, all of your gold pieces are gone.
It's just an empty. It's
I
just an empty
just
pouch.
quickly looked at your gold, and it said 1,700. So you
Yeah,
must not update
I
that.
spent 17. Oh no, I had
In which-
22 because I spent 1750 towards my belt.
In which case, all of your 32. There's a little note that says, "I owe you. You owe."
You owe us.
you-
Your
His
thieves.
credit score's like awful.
You notice all of your gold coins are missing.
Lads, there's something has happened to my gold. Approximately 300 gold pieces have gone missing from my pouch, which definitely had 300 gold pieces in it. And when we get it back, I will be recompensated 300 gold pieces. I'm just making that clear. But did anyone hear anything last night that might have sounded like gold pieces going missing?
Did anyone hear anything that sounded like a dab off getting up in the middle of the night?
Yeah, how does my gold pouch feel?
Can he spider? Can you spider climb the inside of a tent?
I heard something last night, but I didn't see anything.
Did it sound like gold pieces being stolen?
No, it sounded like footprints in the snow.
Did those footprints in the snow sound like they might have been stealing gold pieces?
Not really, to be honest. It was.
Then I can only assume the two are unrelated.
Harshnag, are mountain goblins a thing around these parts?
Or any small creatures that might steal from a friendly neighbourhood.
Well, this reminds me of the time that we were in Scooby-Doo Land, where
You're just stealing everyone's bit now.
Greg is the Voltron of the circus.
Can I check the snow
Scooby-Doo
for
Land.
footprints that lead towards or away from Krill's tent?
It's all the same tent, I think. Are we all in one big tent?
Yeah.
One big tent.
It was
It's,
each of us. We each stole 6 gold pieces.
Yeah, roll me an investigation.
15.
15. You look around, and there's nothing that you can see. It's not snowy here or anything like that, so you've not got like a snowy ground that you can see footprints in that.
How did
by any
Weasel
means.
hear footsteps in the snow then?
That's a good question.
He's having hallucinations again. Fuck.
No, there is snow, but there's not enough there. Sorry, I forgot I said about snow. Yeah, there is snow, but there's nothing in the snow. I was trying to make it easy myself and made it worse for myself.
Well, that's me, all out of options.
Yeah. I'm at a bit of a loss.
are you actually sure you had 30 gold, 22 gold, 300 gold pieces in there? Whatever amount you're claiming.
How's Mr. Moses' armor looking? Is it looking like extra, like good? He bought armor in his sleep again.
There was gold. I can't remember exactly how much, but there was an amount of gold in there that is no longer there.
Can I check my coin purse? Is mine
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, this
Yeah, go ahead.
this best not be what I think. Yeah.
I mean, I can't. I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't have I'm not going to count it all out. I'm just going to have a vague
Okay.
check.
Yeah, you have a look. Obviously, if you're carrying the whip, then yours is considerably larger than most anyway.
Yeah, it is.
But you look at it, and it doesn't seem any different. There's, without you counting it all out, you're fairly confident nothing's changed there.
I'll check mine as well.
Okay. Daboff, you look at your coin purse and you start counting out, and you realise that your coin purse has 32 extra gold.
This mother... Well, I don't realise yet, but I don't know yet. I'm assuming he's not going to tell me, but...
Yeah, I probably will. I don't know why it's there.
You would tell me.
Yeah. I was going to say, someone's been tampering with my coin purse as well, and looks at Quinch. And I'll just I'll say it's not quite 300, but this is how much I'm extra, and hand back whatever it was, 20 odd.
Put it in the kitty, it's fine, as long as we found it.
Oh, it's a shame about the other 270 odd.
I might have given it to you and forgotten about it.
We did some sleep dealings. Yeah.
Is this reserved?
I mean, it seems as though it's all a bit curious to me, but I suppose so. No one seems too concerned.
I mean, I am.
This
Someone's
is-
been rifling through
is
my
weird.
stuff.
Someone's been giving me gold while I've been asleep.
Yeah, but it's still... I should be more alert than this. Don't like it.
Mm.
Oh, I see. Yes, it's got past your guards.
I haven't been sleep thieving since I was a boy. Normally I went to bed afterwards.
That reminds me, Dabov, there's no better time to say this, really, but if you ever want any, I kept a hold of some of the soil that you died on.
He did as well. I'd forgotten that you took some of that soil.
You hold on to it. And yeah.
Okay, I rubbed it on a spoon as well, so we've got sort of double.
Rubbing it on a spoon.
So what does that mean? You've got double. I need to know what that means.
Just I got 2 forms of it.
That is
Wooden
important.
spoon. wooden spoon brackets hallowed ground soil rubbed, and then separately soil of hallowed ground.
You know, like when like the Queen dies and they mint a special coin. Does Dapoff get like a special spoon?
Well, it sounds of it, yes.
It's one of the ones he stole from Tribal.
Just whittled your likeness into it.
Right, we have a long journey ahead of us. And now that the sun is shining, he looks towards the direction that Quinch had helped ascertain the night before. He says, in the light of day, it seems like we have two options to get to where we need to be going. We could travel over the mountains, which would obviously involve climbing some mountains and some environmental problems of its own. Or we could go around. Looking at the distances, I suspect the travel time will be around the same, either option. But I will leave it to you as the circus. Which choice would you wish to go? The mountains or the plains?
Well,
I can fly. Greg can fly.
How much do we know about the slippers? Do we know that they're climbing slippers?
Yeah, you know that they
I'm not attuned to them yet, though.
Yeah.
Dapoff will eventually be able to climb. Krill and Dweezil, how do you feel about the mountains? We should obviously go the way that we can, the way that is most comfortable, and the way that is most sensible.
I think that both of them will leave us open to danger. I think that the plains are dangerous in that we're perhaps open to attacking things, whereas the mountains are dangerous because they're similar. We will be open to attack, but also we'll be climbing mountains. So my preference would be the plains.
I think we're less likely to get attacked in the mountains. I think there's less things up there, but we're better. We know we're all right at combat. So
the things that are up there might be tasty.
And equally, you've got things like avalanches and things like that to contend with up in the mountains.
I'm leaning towards the plains. It's more what we're used to. There's no unexpected forces of nature there, really.
Okay, I'm fine with the plains. I think it'd be warmer as well, being up in high mountains.
Then it is settled. The plains it is. Let us go. And you start striding off northwesterly as flutes start to play in the background, and the camera pans out to see our adventurers walking single file towards the craggy mountains of the northwest. What an exceptional episode of Dice and Desire that was. I can't decide if my favourite part was when Quinch said the inappropriate thing, Dweezil scolded them all for being silly billies, or Greg just didn't know what was going on. Great stuff. Anyway, thanks for listening, and if you've enjoyed this, why don't you come and find us on social media, where you can interact with us on a daily basis and share some of your favourite parts. Or you can tell some friends and family, hopefully they listen, and that will help our visibility and even more people will find us. Or, finally, if you have any spare change that Krill doesn't know about, and you want to support us financially, no pressure, then why don't you head on over to Ko-fi and you can do just that. Right, I'm off. But, like Dapoff, I will see you in a few days, whether you like it or not. Ciao!